This is an Ash White podcast coming to you from the Milne Road Studios, Redwood Park in Adelaide, Australia. Yeah. Hey, everybody. We've got three guests tonight. We've got our crowd favourite, Mr. Peter Renfrey. G'day, Pete.
Hi, Ash. How are you?
Doing all right for a Friday, mate.
That's good.
We've also got Mr. Roger Prime.
Howdy, Ash.
Rog, how are you, bud?
Good, mate. Self?
Very well, thank you. And we've got Mr. Bob Nicewonder.
Nice. How you
Oh,
doing?
nice one. I still got it wrong. I only rehearsed that 15 times. Might be too much water under the bridge. How's everybody?
Doing good.
Sweet.
Doing good. Good for an old bloke, mate.
Good week? Everyone had a good week?
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Yep, going good. Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, we had Anzac Day yesterday. Pete and I went up to the Tea Tree Gully service there, and we loved the marching band come down the street, didn't we?
Very emotional, isn't it?
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, very emotional. It was very good, and what we thought we'd go up there and just make sure their beer wasn't flat. So we we got a few beer tickets, and we certainly had a lot of fun up there, didn't we?
Absolutely. And it was just the right temperature too, mate.
It wasn't cold and it tasted right, so I think we knew the answer before we started. Hey, welcome, boys. A bit of a long time in the making, but we finally got here. We had an office a little bit too small, and we didn't really have the gear up ready for you pros. So we've certainly Bob's been in the industry all his life, or most of it, and welcome here. It's really good to have you both here.
Thank you, mate.
It's good to be here.
We got a bit of baseball to talk about tonight, if you're happy.
Certainly happy.
Absolutely.
Certainly happy.
Absolutely.
Roger, the baseball out there at Norwood,
Yep.
we're going back 1952.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what that was all about.
Well, my father was a ladies umpire for ladies basketball. And we lived at East Parade, Kensington, just down from Norwood Oval.
Yep.
And he saw an advertisement in the paper to say night baseball. He knew nothing about it whatsoever. And he said, son, I was 7. He said, we're going to watch night baseball. I knew nothing about baseball. Trot down there.
Get ready for landing.
Yeah. And we watched the first game. Sat alongside the Fenwick brothers' father. And that's where we stayed for 4 or 5 years. And that's how it started in baseball.
Wow. And 1956 was your first year?
Yep, playing with Marrickville Primary School.
Wow.
You couldn't, I was in grade 6 then, they wouldn't let anybody play at grade 5. I couldn't wait to get to grade 6 to start playing, and it was fantastic. Played the first 2 years at Marrickville Primary School, had an absolute ball, and then got hooked, and haven't stopped playing since.
Wow. It's certainly nice out that way, you know, where you obviously went to school there. And just going back, I just jumped the gun a little bit too quick on the Norwood baseball.
Yep.
That really, I would love to see it go back there.
Absolutely.
Again.
Absolutely. Yep.
I doubt it will with the infrastructure built down at West Beach, and it's wonderful down there. They've got a huge precinct down there now. But boy, what a time of life with the baseball out at Norwood.
It was all the guys that represented Nuts Martin and the Roberts brothers, the Harris brothers, the Fenwick brothers, all playing out there. Medley brothers, remember them all playing out at night baseball. Fantastic.
DR played out there, didn't he, Pete?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He-
At a
That's
fairly young
right,
age.
yeah.
He started young, didn't he?
Yeah, he played against the Japanese team, did he?
Yeah, I think he might have.
I reckon he did. I reckon he, because I reckon the story he used to say that afterwards they'd pick him up and they were throwing him up in the air because he got man of the match or series or something. So, but I think that was a part of life that really was the beginning of I suppose proper baseball here in Adelaide, was it?
Absolutely. Well, his father was catcher for Norwood Red Sox.
Yeah, right. Okay. Wow.
And his uncle, which is the shortstop, which is Dave Roberts. So it was
Goodness me.
And his other uncle, which was Peter Roberts, played first base.
56, we go into 1957. Henley and Grange?
Henley and Grange, played with Henley and Grange. We moved from East Brae, Kensington down to Brooklyn Park.
And near the airport, yeah.
Yeah, down the airport. So the only side that was down at this stage, well, actually there was West Torrens and Henley and Grange. And my dad worked with Kenny Rankin, who was the coach of Henley and Grange. And Kenny said, send him out to Henley and Grange.
All right.
So I went and played with Henley and Grange the first year. And then in 58, Henley High School started. That's the first year of Henley High School, so I went there.
George Fenwick was your teacher, yeah?
The reason I put that in because George I saw him at the commencement of baseball when I first started. Him and his brother Graham played for Norwood Red Sox. And so George, I knew him. So after the first day at Henley High School, I approached him, are we going to play baseball? And he said to me, you go and get the guys and we'll play baseball. So, and that's the way it started. Yeah.
What, the same year you got hit in the crackers, did you?
Oh.
Tell us a bit about that one.
We were playing in a semi-final in an oval just off of Adelaide High School on the opposite. Never used to play baseball there before, but we were playing a semi-final there for Henley and Grange. And I was catching, and a ball come off and hit me fair in the Jacks crackers. And you can imagine there was quite a few people, a couple hundred people watching. I reckon 199 were laughing. The one person that wasn't was me, and it took 10 minutes at least to get my breath back.
To get him out of your throat.
Exactly. And some smart ass down in was helping me out. He said, when you feel right, get up and start walking down the third baseline and rubbing your elbow. And that brought up another lot of laugh. I did exactly that. So, yeah.
It was a bit like Peter Renfrey up at the catching, and he went for a catch behind, and as he caught the ball, his hand got caught in the wire of the fence. And I said, Pete, hurry up, you're taking too long. And he said, I will once I pull my arm out of the wire. They make him tough.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, they thought I'd broke my arm in the outfield. And I was like, get up, you weak shit, you know.
And they were right.
Well, yeah, they didn't have to let everyone
Yeah,
know.
no, exactly.
Right, moving on, Rog.
Yep.
1962. A little bit different from baseball.
62. Yeah, moved to Windsor Gardens.
Yep.
Played for Campbelltown High School.
Yep.
I was trying to get a thing so I could be a junior teacher. So I went to high school to get the last subject, and I played for East Torrens. And East Torrens at that stage thought, geez, he's pretty good, so we'll throw him in Major B grade. It was still old winter type thing. So I played Major B for, I think, the first 6 games, and they found it too much, so I got shoved back to minor B grade and played there with, I don't remember, Peter Keane. He was an A grade player eventually, but I played with him. And we played in the minor B grade final against, I think it was West Torrens. And we weren't having a good day. We were about second or third innings, and bases were first and second occupied. Hit went down. The guy from second went to third turn and came home, and I went for the tag, and he did a front-on slide and stopped, and the cleats come up and cleated me fair in the head, and I had to go to hospital and get 7 stitches.
All right.
And I'm waiting there. You know what? Hospitals are like 2-3 hours. And I'm after 10 minutes. I'm pacing up and down. Come on, I've got to get back to the game. Got to get back to the game. 2 hours later, we got it fixed up. But that's what. Yeah, got smashed in the head. That was the worst one to start with.
Well, lucky it wasn't these days, mate. Otherwise, you'd had 21-day concussion rules.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And then from that, Rog, I believe you moved on away from baseball.
Yeah, well, I sort of tried to, because baseball was still a winter sport and cricket was a summer sport, I was able to play both. I played for Windsor Gardens Cricket Club. Now, the reason I sort of said that is because I was a wicket keeper, but I thought I was a pretty good batter as well. And I reckon for the first 10 games I played, I never got past 16. That was a shocker. So I eventually got a game playing an old mate of mine, Mick Slop. He was bowling the other end, and we used to be really good mates. And we're playing on opposite sides.
Prepare for landing.
Okay. And and Mick had my side, Windsor Gardens. If I remember, it was a 5 for 60. We were chasing 220. And I went on the fifth wicket down, and I made, listen to this, 112 knockout. And we won the game. He was not a happy gappy.
All right.
That would have messed up your batting average of 16.
The next time I got the 59 by tea time, and I thought, I'm going well again. I'm going to get another 100 here. And I went to slice the very first ball after tea, got bowled.
Oh.
Walked off very nasty.
That happens, mate. That
It does.
Ask Greg Chappell.
Yeah.
Moving on, mate.
Yep.
Away from the sport, something else happened in your life.
Yes. Diane, who's been my wife for 57 years, she moved into Windsor Gardens, just 2 houses up from me. It didn't take us long to get together, and we've been together ever since. So it's 61 years, or 62 years. Yeah.
Incredible.
She's not sick of you?
Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah. That happened after the first 12 months.
She said, you're pretty good on the computer, Bob. Roger.
Yeah.
61 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got a lot of patience.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. After that, round about the same time, state baseball.
State baseball? Yeah, say no more. I got in the under 18 state side, didn't play much, got a couple of times to hit, didn't do anything at all. So it's not worth talking about, quite honestly. Had a poor series after getting all that work done.
Well, I mean, it's that age, isn't it? You're either, a
Yeah,
little bit
exactly.
too young for it, or you're not quite peaking.
Let's say I was too young for it.
Too young. Not too tall.
No. Could never be too tall.
Yeah. No, that's all good, mate. And then, continued playing baseball at East Torrens.
East Torrens, yes, stayed at East Torrens. And at that time I joined the ANZ banking group. That was my first job, and only job for the first 10 years. And at the same time, Diane was employed by Dun the Pillow. At the same time that I was still with the ANZ banking group, and I can remember playing a game on ICI Oval for East Torrens. So obviously it's winter. It is teeming down. You could not see your hand in front of you. And this ball went up, and I'm sure, I still say to this day, it dropped 4 feet behind the second baseman. I run in from right field to catch it, didn't take the catch, and Graham Fenwick was the coach, and I got balled out for not taking the catch. I'm not happy about that. As you can see, I'm still not happy with it.
She's got a long memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and then we get up to around the year of conscription
Yeah.
for the Vietnam War, and what we might do is just leave it there for a minute. I'm lining up two guys for the first time, and I've tried to make this so that it flows quite well.
Sure,
but
sure.
Bob, welcome again.
Yeah.
Let's go to you. Let's go right back to the Miami University.
Yeah.
That was in
60s, early 60s.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you did obviously your schooling down there in Miami, or
Yeah. Degree in business, and bachelor's in business. And, I got out of there in 64, 65, went up to Chicago. This was near Cincinnati. And went to Chicago, to get a job up there with some of the big companies and stuff like that. Well, and I had a lot of fraternity brothers that were living up there, so I, would catch up with them and so forth. And so all these interviews, they said, well, when the war is over, when you've done your military obligation, come back and see us, because a lot of guys went away and never came back.
Was that automatically a 6-year service you had to do? Or was that
in the reserves? It
Okay.
was 6 years. If I wanted to go in to the Army, 2 years, boom, boom. But you were there for 2 years doing whatever. But I had some mates that were in the Naval Air Reserve, just out of Glenview, Illinois, which is just north of Chicago, and that was a pretty good option. It was a 6-year obligation, but you went to boot camp, and then you went to schooling, whatever you chose. I chose reciprocating engine mechanic, working on the twin radial engines of Skyhawk or whatever it was.
and that was to do with the aircraft carrier, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, these planes were, on the aircraft carriers. So, yeah, I did that. That was pretty good. And before I went in, I had a couple 3 months before my induction date. And when going to university, we used to go to Nassau in the Bahamas for spring break. It was 8 days, boom, boom. And it was pretty nice down there, no problem drinking on the beach. In Miami, in Fort Lauderdale, you couldn't do that. You had to be 21 to drink in Florida. But, you could be any age, I guess, in the Bahamas. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And so during the time before I went in, a mate of mine, I worked a bar on Rush Street there in Chicago. And a fraternity brother come in, and he says, I'm going to go down to the Bahamas for spring. You want to come along? Yeah, sure, why not, So we jumped in a car. It's about a 12-hour drive, and went over there, and, geez, that was a lot of fun again, and that was all the, college universities are down there, all the guys and girls and having a good time, and as you do. And, yeah, as it got toward the end of my time there, I was hitchhiking, and guy picked me up, and I said, how's the guy get a job here? And the guy said, well, I heard they're hiring divers down at the dock. I said, oh, okay. And I knew how to do a little bit of that, being in Ohio, from Ohio, in a quarry, And so I went down there, and the guy said, yeah, sure, come on down tomorrow, and, we'll see how you do in the water, and you can see how we operate. And I said, okay, fine. So I did that, and it was great fun. It was great fun. They said, yeah, okay, you're hired. And so I was there for another maybe month or 6 weeks, and just having the time of my life. I tell you, it was something special. Diving in gin clear water, all the beautiful tropical fish, and the coral and sugar white fine sand, beaches and sand bottom. It was just fantastic. So anyway, I went to did the service, and it was just outside of Memphis is where the training was, would you believe, for the Navy. And once again, I had some fraternity brothers that were living there in Memphis, and I caught up with them. So once I got out of boot camp, going to school was like, 5 days, and the weekends off. So we'd go in there on the weekends, and, we had a, pretty good time, having a bit of fun. And one time they said, hey, we're going to go down and see Elvis's house. You want to come along? Nah, I don't want to do that. Wish I had, because at that time it wasn't as big as it is today. Everybody going there.
There's only one king.
Yeah. But,
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. So anyway, after I got out, I called the guys back in the Bahamas. I said, "Still got a job open down there?" "Yeah, come on down." Great. And so I was down there for another 8 years, and loved it, and got into showbiz. And eventually met my wife there. We're doing the Las Vegas type review shows at the theater, at the casino there, and she came in to replace a dancer, and she
And you married her in
Yeah.
Jerry in 1975.
Yeah, yeah. We met in 70,
Yep.
and then 75. We from Nassau there. We went down to Puerto Rico. We did some shows down there at the Americana in San Juan, and for about 3 years, and then coming back to the States, we were doing a show in Miami, and of course, well, to make it easier, well, will you marry me? You know? Yeah, and so we got married, and that took care of that. And, yeah, we had a great time.
That's always a big question
was
for most
showbiz.
blokes,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're sort of about 85% sure, but there's that little 15%er that stands about 6'5", doesn't it?
Yeah, but we'd been together for about 5 years, so it was pretty comfortable, type of thing. Kind of knew it was coming, but all of a sudden there's the push, and no, it was fantastic, and we were like gypsies, really, when you stop and think about it. Doing a show here and a show there, and which was fantastic because we worked nights, and wherever we worked were resort areas, so we had the whole day to go out and enjoy what the environment had to offer. Sand, surf,
So
beach.
Puerto Rico was beautiful, I take it?
Oh yeah, and it was like close to the Virgin Islands. We used to go over there. I knew some people over there, and used to go diving and spearfishing over there too. And we had a Hobie cat, little 14-footer Hobie cat. We lived in a condo on the beach there, and we just kept the boat there on the beach along with about 14 others, and we just take the sail down the elevator from the condo, rig it up, and away you go. And every day there was a 15-knot wind out of the northeast, and it was, boy, you just go like a rocket. Bit of a reef offshore with the breakers out there, and you used to surf the breakers.
Living the
that was
dream.
pretty exciting. That was pretty exciting. The water was gin clear, and you're just scooting across the surfing, like on a board, on a Hobie cat, and you're looking down, and you see all those black sea urchins, as you're passing
There's
over.
Bob Nicewonder, look at him.
And yeah.
He's got his...
So you don't want to tip your boat over there. That was for sure, And guys have done that, and they come up with all kinds of troubles in their feet, and pretty painful. But yeah, that was really great there. We did a lot of diving there too, and sightseeing, and great friends, and wherever we went, we were there pretty much long enough to form good friendships over the years. So today, we have people we know in a lot of different places that we keep in touch with, which is pretty special. Pretty special, yeah. So and eventually we went one summer, because the Miami shows were just in the winter. That's when all the snowbirds had come down. And we got a job up at Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is just outside of Philly. And it was 1976, the bicentennial summer. And I tell you, Philly was just red, white, and blue all over. And this theater restaurant had bought our show in. It was like a Las Vegas type show, which they hadn't had before. And it sat 3,000 people for dinner and show. 3,000, And we worked seven nights a week, one show a night. But the weekends it was pretty full. But during the week it wasn't much business. But we used to go to New York City. A lot of the kids were in the show were from New York, in Manhattan and stuff. And so we used to, one night a week, drive up the turnpike there, which is a couple hours, I think, and go sightseeing around New York City, which
Where
been there.
Where did you
it's
where did you
unbelievable.
stay there in
In an apartment? They had an apartment right there in
what,
Manhattan,
Midtown or
Midtown. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, we're all brand new to this Big Apple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just followed them. And I mean, it's like, wow. It's just like having your own personal, tour operator. Telling you where to go and what to do. One of the things that we did there, we went and saw a chorus line in the Schubert Theater, which was pretty special at the time. And the other one, we had lunch at the top of the World Trade Center. which was fantastic, and you're up there at 100 and some odd stories above, and everywhere you look, you can see outside, and you can see the planes flying below you, the smaller planes, and helicopters and stuff like that. You're looking down on them. You're so high up, half a mile up. It was pretty special. It cost you $26 just to get in the elevator to go up.
It's surprising how much traffic roams around that island.
Oh, it's
And
amazing.
you think Adelaide, we can't have any tall towers here because we got North Adelaide.
Yeah.
And you look at the Cessnas, the helicopters. There must be a dozen helicopters flying around Manhattan and out to Liberty and Jersey
That was
Jersey
amazing.
City. It's just incredible.
It was amazing. It was an amazing time, and it was very international. The restaurant was called Windows on the World, and they had a smorgasbord type setup there, and no matter where you were,
You could see
wherever you were from in the world, you would find something a dish that you knew that you would like.
Yep.
And there was a lot of them that we didn't know. What the heck is that? But it was yeah, meow.
Charlie. What's your beast called? What's your beast called? Oh,
Not saying a
I
word.
know who you are.
Yeah. But it was
Roger's got a
pretty special.
rain too.
Pretty special. White glove service, and we were young. We never knew what white glove service was, but we found out it's pretty special, let me tell you. Yeah, it was great experience. And when that finished, we went back to Miami for the winter, and then we had another show come up in Lake Tahoe for the summer. We said, well, yeah, okay, let's do that, And so we drove out west, and living in the islands for many, many years, and down there in Florida and the East Coast, everything's pretty flat and whatever. And as we get out there, getting close to the Sierras, the landscape starts changing. The tall pine trees, and the mountains and windy roads and stuff. And so we get the road to go up from Carson City up to Lake Tahoe, and
Drop into the bowl.
well, yeah. But I tell you, the roads are getting narrower, and the trees are getting bigger, and it's all granite. There's no green grass, and none of that stuff. It's a whole completely different. And we're thinking, where the hell are we going?
I think the lake's at 3,000 feet.
No, it's 6,000.
6,000 feet.
6,000.
Might be
6,400 or something. It's up there. It's up there.
divided by 3. I might be in feet to meters.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I've got it written down near the pool. I'll have to go back.
Yeah. But and then when we made the turnoff, when you go left, you go to South Lake Tahoe, which is all the big hotels, where you were, and all the big
Heavenly.
heavenly valleys down
Yes.
there and all that sort of thing. But when you turn right, you go to the North Shore, which is less populated, and the roads even get more narrower. The roads get more windier, and you're thinking, holy crap, where are we going?
And
where are
don't
we
forget,
going,
you're on tsunami watch. You are on tsunami watch. Yeah, they have protocols there for if there's a mass movement of water. So you think, it's only in the ocean, but they have the fact that the plates can move, and all that bed of water that's 3 kilometres high from sea level, if there was to be some sort of movement, that water can move very quickly. And
Right.
so it does exist there in the lakes as well.
Wow.
There's a bit of food for thought for you.
Yeah, well, we never worried about that.
Wasn't I on the list?
No. But that was really another experience because we're living at 6,500 feet above sea level. The air is thin. Water boils quickly. There, it doesn't reach the 100 degrees Celsius. About maybe 80, 85, and when you're baking a cake, the recipes are different, and your car runs a little bit different as well. And you can drink like crazy. because I don't know.
We'd be in trouble, Pete.
Let me tell you.
We might have to ask for 2 buses to get home.
Yeah. Once your body gets, used to it, everything, it just seems that you can drink forever.
Reese and I did ski there. We got up to 10,000 feet. And as soon as we got off the chairlift there, we felt quite nauseous. So Mandy had given us milk and chocolate bars to line our stomach. So we just swigged a glass of milk each or a bottle of milk each and put a Mars bar in there, and it went almost instantly that the gut was lined. So obviously somewhere between your ear and your gut, there's something that obviously tells you that you're high. So imagine Mount Everest, what's that, 28,000 feet?
Yeah.
So in that kill zone for the last 3,000 feet must be the worst on earth,
You're using oxygen, I think.
I had the milk and chocolate before I come here.
All right, you're going to be fine today now.
We're only 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, so it was quite an experience. And then from there, from Lake Tahoe, coming the end of the show, they were opening up 4 casinos down in Reno. Bill Hara was doing one, and the Sahara, and just a lot of job opportunities, and so in the MGM, and so we put our hand up and got some jobs down there, and we were there for 10 years, doing showbiz, different various.
You bought a house there, didn't you?
Oh yeah, bought the house, had the kids, threw away the cardboard boxes, gypsies no more, and it was great. We had a great neighborhood, and it just seemed that a lot of us were older and when we had our children, and they all, we're all friends and all about the same age, and we're still friends to this day. It was just terrific for 10 years, and then she got homesick, and here we are.
She is Jerry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to keep it neat.
Yeah, she's from Adelaide, and I'd been here a couple of times visiting, and there was just nowhere really for me to work until the convention center opened, and it was about maybe 18 months after it opened that when she really got homesick, and so we sent some letters out and sold the house and got here and got a job at the convention center. Yeah, it worked out really well. Struggled, but had a lot of fun. That's when my son got involved with t-ball, and I got involved with baseball. So it's been good. It's really been good.
A lot of fun. Still lots to talk about. Rog, if we look at 1971, you moved up to Darwin?
Yeah, well, actually, just before that, my wife and I got married in 11/11/67.
That's what I was going to talk about. That my father passed away on the 11th at 11 o'clock,
Did he?
and he wasn't in the services.
Right.
I did see that date. Sorry, beg your pardon.
No, that's
I
right.
missed that one.
The thing being is that I never forget our anniversary. 11/11, easy to remember. It really wasn't why we got married, because I was in 3 Battalion, and they were going to Vietnam, and we get pre-embarkation leave, and we thought we'd get married before I went overseas. Had pre-embarkation leave, come back to 3 Battalion, and they had about 60 guys wanting to go within the battalion, so they had 50 over they didn't want to take. So they said, Prime, you're out. You can go elsewhere. So I didn't end up going. So that was the end of that. I ended up in F Troop, which is what they used to call F Troop.
Finished.
From F Troop, and of course then I went down to 10 RSAR at Torrens Parade Ground. That's where I spent 9 months of the last bit waiting. So it was good fun. We had good fun. And then in 69, I went back playing baseball with East Torrens.
E.T. Okay.
Yep. And
then up to Darwin.
well, yeah, the game I remember most is playing against the Bays down the Bay. East Torrens wasn't going too well. I was catching, got cleaned up at the plate. I know the person that did it. I've still got his name in my. And
elephants, don't forget.
I had to come out of the game, and and they said, "Prom, you better go off to hospital." I couldn't walk properly on my left leg, and I said, "Well, I will, but I've got to have a few frothies beforehand because if I don't get frothies now, I won't get them later." So I drove up to, I was going past Mudbury Hospital and thought to myself, "Nah, I'm going home." So I went home and went to get out the car and fell over. And Mum said, "What have you done?" And I said, "Oh, looks nothing. Tomorrow morning will be fine." So Sunday I got up and fell over again. So she took me down to the hospital and I spent, unfortunately, 6 weeks on crutches. I'd done all my tendons in my left leg, completely tore them all. So, but part of the game.
That's
Game, isn't it?
Yep.
Little more than the flesh wound.
Absolutely. And then I moved to Darwin in 1971. And this is fun too because I got off the plane and went down to the bank. They had organised accommodation for us, and of course, in the same bank, Paul Begg was there as well with me, and of course, straight away he got into me about playing baseball for them. So we started that, and Sandy Mead was the coach of Waratahs, and Beggy played for as well. But they only had 2 games to go, and they had in their competition you had to play 3 games to make it. So Sandy scratches his head and says, "We missed out one earlier on in the year because of rain." He says, "I'll get that organised." So we got that organised. So I played in that game, and it was that dark when we finished. Played but during the week. That dark when we finished, I could not see my hand in front of my face. We won the game, but that was the 3rd game, and I played the last 2, and eventually made through to the grand final. And that we lost it, unfortunately, but it was fantastic. Really
As Steve Brooks says, part of winning's dealing with losing, isn't it? It's stuck in my ears forever.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Not the way we'd like to do it. But,
No, we've lost a few though, haven't we?
oh, yeah.
There were always a few you lost.
I was telling Rog before about the one when I was playing for Woodville against Adelaide. And, play at home, big cloud of dust, the ball sitting on the ground. We lost that one.
Yeah.
Didn't I, Morty?
Yeah.
And he still lets you know it.
Yeah, exactly. So in 72 we had the Creewalk Shield. It's between all the 4 country centres in the territory. And I remember we played that in Alice Springs and I made a fool of myself because I said we're only going to play 7 innings. And we were way behind and get to the 7th innings and we run behind and we lose. Had I played the 9 like the coach of Alice Springs, we probably would have won the game. But we lost it. There you go. And out of that, we had a country team play for the Country Carnival in Adelaide, of which we got beaten by, I should remember. Can't remember. Anyway, we got beaten there in the last one as well. And just before I left Darwin, we had no, it's not Malcolm. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. I had a team come up from Adelaide, from Goodwood, to play a combined side of Darwin. Malcolm McLeod, he threw the first game and they beat us quite easily, 12-1 or 2. And on the second day, we played when Neil Page pitched and we got beaten by 2 runs. So we had a great time. The funny part about it is we had them come up on the red eye on the Friday morning, come on the red eye, and it got in about 5 a.m. in the morning. And I had all my guys, I was coaching at the time, waiting for them, just in which was supposed to be the terminal, but it was not much more than a bloody tin shed. We sat down and we're having a few frothies. They couldn't believe it, 5 a.m. in the morning. We're having some frothies and they've got off the plane. So they couldn't believe it. They thought, no problems at all. We can beat this mob. We gave them
Was there any standout players from Darwin?
in a word, no.
No?
No.
Tibbo come from up there, didn't he? Tibbets.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
mate,
means
He was born in Alice Springs, and I
Right.
think his mum and dad were school teachers,
Yep.
and they did end up in Darwin, I reckon, and he came down obviously from there
Yep,
and ended
yep.
up at West Torrens, but to start with. But Yeah, I was just wondering
Well,
whether there was.
they had a thought at that stage that they were going to be able to play Claxton Shield down here, and that's why they started the Country Carnival. But they got beaten in the Country Carnival. They really didn't have enough good players
Okay.
to make it. So that eventually just died, and they didn't have players to make Claxton Shield. But there you go.
They had a very good bar up there,
They,
didn't they?
Well, apparently it opened at 5 in the morning.
yeah. No, the bar wasn't open. We took our own.
Could have been a new trend.
Exactly. So then in '73, I returned back to Adelaide and tried out for East Torrens, and the coach had running drills from the plate to first base, and to get in the Division 1 side, you had to make the time they'd made up, and I'd unfortunately had some trouble with water in Darwin. I'm sure there was impurities in the water, and I'd put on a couple of stone because of those impurities. And
The amber ones.
so he said, "No, you're not going to make Division 1." So I ended up playing with Goodwood with Dave McLeod. Had a fantastic year, and then I moved on and started coaching Northern Districts. Man, was that silly thing to do, but there you go.
That was a decade nearly, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I played the 1 year with Goodwood, and then started with 75. I think I started with Northern Districts, and then 74, Wendy was born. So that was my first, and then I played with Northern Districts, and I had very little success as a coach and a player with Norse.
Did it teach you much, though? Did you learn something in that decade?
Oh, I certainly did, yeah. Never go with the side that's got no players.
You still do need cattle, don't you?
I mean, you're exactly right.
You can be the best coach and
But a
have
lot, and
a
you can't-
shit team. And
Yeah, you can't. You can't get them up because they just don't have the wherewithal to be able to play good baseball, you know?
yeah.
So it teaches you something.
Yes, no, I think it's a very black and white thing, isn't it? You know, if you're winning, you're winning. If you're losing every
Yeah,
week,
exactly.
you know, the fun factor starts to disappear pretty quickly. But and then you had another baby, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Paul was born in '76, and he's still with us. So he's a good one. He's a good one. He's a good lad.
He's a good soul.
Yeah, he's a good soul.
He's a good
Yeah,
soul.
exactly.
I hadn't seen him for a while, and I doubt he remembered me today.
No, but he probably does. Yeah, he's got a good memory. He's a good lad. He's a good lad. Until he's nasty, and then yeah, so as a player for North, I got very little success, and I was president at North for 10 years, and we had very little success as well, even when they say it wasn't much. By the time I was a full-time manager of actually Northern District Greenacre Sports and Social Club, who were in dire straits when I took over. We were in the debt, and in 10 years, it took us 10 years to get out of debt, pay all our debts off, and left 50 G's in the bank as well. But
That's good.
Yep, took 10 years. So, but I enjoyed that 10 years. And at the same time, in the 90s, I was involved in North East primary school competition, which was played out at Iliari. And that was during the height of the competition. We thought we had nearly 1,000 kids playing there. There was 6, Bob?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
6 time limits to play the games. And we were worried about the young kids at that stage playing there and not progressing to club baseball at all. We looked at them, we had maybe half a dozen going, 12 Kenzie's or Norths.
East Torrens.
Yeah, East Torrens, there was only a half a dozen, they'd have 1,000 kids. So that's when Ronnie Chandler, who was secretary of the league at the time, approached me and said, how you going at North? He knew I was having a few problems, so I said, well, not the greatest. He said, what about we start a club at up your way? And I said, well, I'm happy to do that, not a problem. So we've got to get around and get it organised. And we had myself, who else was it? Dutz Ron McBride and Faye Nathan all got together to start a new club, and we only had probably 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks to get it up and get started. And that's where Dodgers started, because we didn't have time to get uniforms organised. And we knew the only thing at the stage that was on the peg that you could actually go and buy was LA Dodgers. So we said, oh, we're becoming the Dodgers. And that's where it's stuck at this stage.
Fantastic. Bob, I just want to finish off on your little part before we get into the Golden Grove part there. Aaron obviously was a young lad and he wanted to take on T-Ball.
Yeah, he was in year 5. He was. We had the kids in Reno. They were 6 and 8 when we came out, and we were here for maybe a couple of years or so. And I was busy, getting acclimated and whatever there at the convention center, and busy. And anyway, he took up T-ball with the Heights, and I went over and watched his game toward the end of the season, and I saw the mother was out there training him, and the kids were having fun, but she didn't know, a whole lot, and I thought, well, I could probably do better, So I approached the coordinator there, and I said, look, I'll coach next year, and she says, oh, thank God, I don't know anything about pitching and catching. And I go, oh, neither do I. So it was a major,
I still don't.
hustle to
Me neither, Petey.
to find out the basic fundamentals and so forth, and so I got more and more involved. And in the States, I mean, we played games in high school, and we had pickup games in the neighborhood, but anything like you guys had here, nothing whatsoever. But everybody knew how to play baseball because it's just all around you. You're just immersed in it, and it was a fun game. There's no doubt about it. And so anyway, it was year 6. It was Pee Wee baseball, and so I got involved with NIPS, and also and then the next year, and after that, it was baseball after that, and so Ian Nathan came around the last game of the T-ball, and with introductory letters saying, if you want to play baseball, come over and join us, And so we did. It was just a natural progression. I mean, what did I know, And, we've been there ever since. And, after a while, I got more and more involved in the NEPS thing. And like Raj said, we had damn near 1,000 kids, playing on a Saturday morning. Yeah, it was unreal. And we had to split it. We had the Pee Wee baseball at Ilieri, and then we had the T-ball over at the Heights, and we used to lay out 14 diamonds. We had 3 time slots there, and the middle time slot, which was I guess the year 4s or whatever, we used all 14, but we used like 11 or 12.
Wow.
It was just unbelievable.
It's like Central Park in New York.
And it was just like people having fun. It was just a bunch of parents, making it happen. But over the years, like anything, the parents start dropping off, and not many people want to get involved, and so forth. But I mean, NEPS was really, really pretty special because going way back, they used to provide pennants to the kids, a felt pennant. I don't know, maybe about 12 inches,
12 inches, yeah.
Whatever that is a millimeter, and. The parents used to do them themselves. They had the blocks for the different colors and the paint.
And they'd write them up. They'd design themselves.
All that themselves, parents,
We need them at the White Roux Company.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was just, I was just blown away, at the involvement, But then over the years that fell away, and then so, we found somebody that could make them for us, type of thing. And but it was just incredible. But it's just the because it was parent run, and each school had to have a parent to drive it at that school. I don't know. There was a lot of schools, primary schools involved, and it just finally just dwindled down. And I think it kind of dwindled down because the Giants folded in, what, 1990 was it? Or what was
No, it was later than that.
Later than that, yeah.
Well, whenever they folded, each year the participation went down and down and down and down. And and then that was Saturday morning. Then Helen Galata, she had started up a rookies little league up there at Gleason College, played on a Friday night, and she wasn't doing too well either, as it turned out. I was unaware of that, but anyway, Neps kind of folded, and the rookies came over to the Dodgers. Now, I'm not sure who it was. It was somebody there at the Dodgers that went over and said, "Look, why don't you bring it over here, and we'll operate it," because the rookies was more aligned with our baseball club. People signed up, and you went into this team with your, type of thing. Whereas with the primary school thing, if you played against another primary school and they were short and you had too many, the kids wouldn't go over and play in that other team. You know what I mean? It was kind of strange. But so anyway, anyway, in the meantime, I was I think I was involved with the baseball league, and I couldn't get too involved at all with the committee of the baseball club. I mean, I could coach, but that was it. And so I wasn't too sure, what was going on there. And anyway, when I stepped back from the league, then I got involved with the T-ball at Iliari, which I think was the second year that the Dodgers, had the T-ball. And so I took that on for about the next 9 or 10 years, building it up over the years, and yeah, it was pretty satisfying. But having always been involved with grassroots T-ball and junior baseball, kind of led to my involvement as a junior director for the baseball league, which was really terrific because, I got to know everybody and all the different baseball clubs in the league, all their junior people, helped them out with their T-ball structures and so forth. And it was really quite rewarding there. But then once I stepped back from that, then I got more involved with the Dodgers baseball club. Yeah.
I remember back that era because that's when my son Christopher was playing T-ball at primary school, and it was all up at the Heights there.
Yeah.
And I think did it start in grade 4? I think
grade three.
Three.
Yeah.
I think Christopher's school, their first team was in grade 4. I'm pretty sure, and the same group of kids progressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they started baseball in year 6, I think, at the school. And it was actually Bob that got Christopher to the Dodgers. He sent an invitation out, would you like to come out and try? And he was a little bit edgy, I suppose, going out there, a little bit intimidating.
They all were. They all did, yeah.
But, it didn't take long, and he recognised guys like Brady Smith, from the different primary schools that they played against. And, there was a couple from his school that came out as well. Now, not too many of them still playing, unfortunately, but the beauty of that is Christopher is back into winter ball now and loving it. So
well, I think Brett Smith's coming back again too.
Yeah.
All the way from Mount Barker.
Yep. No, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a fun sport, and the camaraderie that it provides
We're getting
it's hard to beat.
close to the hour. Just do we want to go into winter ball and have a chat about winter ball?
You can if you like, yeah.
Who started that? Was that you two guys or?
I guess.
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
It's so long ago.
I had a team prior to winter ball playing in the leagues competition, Division 4.
Where was that played?
We actually played at Adelaide.
Oh, okay.
All right, so or around. We really didn't have a home team at a home side as such. And then I think we won the first year, and then they started to want too much money for what we were playing in. So we decided, and the other thing was that a lot of people from Dodgers wanted to start playing winter baseball. So we looked at it and we ended up having four sides from guys that put their hand up. Yeah, we want to play. So we started with 4 sides in 1990, I think it was.
Good fun.
And we haven't looked back. We haven't looked back ever since.
The best hot dogs.
The best hot dogs?
Well, now they are.
Well,
We didn't have hot dogs.
No, when we started, we didn't know. We didn't have
nothing.
anything.
You just grabbed an old kit bag from somewhere.
That's it.
Wherever you could scrounge the equipment, and you go out and we'd throw the bases down, you play the game, and you went
Yeah.
home.
Was-
There was no bar, no canteen. It was just come on out and
was the
Have a
club
hit.
rooms always there or not there? Or
yeah,
was
yeah,
it-
they were
public.
there, but there was no access, and we weren't even looking for it, really, were we? We just
No, we
Yeah,
just
right.
played
So
that.
you
we
rocked
did-
up
we-
with your bag
That's
and,
it.
and your
Yeah,
and
yep,
your
it was-
bases.
I call it picnic baseball.
Yeah, it
You know what I
was.
mean? You just come out, have a hit, have some fun, have a bit of a yak, and go on with your day.
Exactly.
It was a lot of fun.
And
Just
maybe
a
we
lot.
went down the pub for a few frothies.
Well,
afterwards.
maybe. Yeah.
What year did the nice hot dogs arrive?
Well, I tell you, some years as we progressed, the Inters made Iliari their home ground for their winter ball competition, for their club, for their team, and Fred and Helen opened up the
Bless
canteen.
bless his heart.
Yeah,
old
R.I.P.
Fred.
Yeah, yep.
R.I.P. That's
Yeah.
a great guy. And
Was a great guy.
His
and,
jokes were always about 6 out of 10. I don't think any of them got to 7, did
That
they, Pete?
many. Wow.
Well, one did, but I can't remember it.
He would tell you one a week, wouldn't he? Like every time you saw him.
yeah, so they had hot food and soup and beer and spirits there. They would sell, and that was a pretty good deal. And I don't know, they did it for 1 or 2, maybe 3 winters, perhaps, and then they stepped away from it. And we thought, well, Raj and I,
Gotta
why
keep
don't
going.
we do it? And
Yeah.
Raj, he's got all the expertise of, running a pub, and away it went. And yeah, we've been doing that.
A
ever
licensed distillery.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's been great. It's been really
I
a lot
remember,
of fun.
I remember back in those days, I think at one stage the Inters actually had 3 teams.
They could have.
They-
Yes, they
yeah.
did.
They
Yes,
were.
they did.
They did.
They were
And-
separate from
us, yeah.
from us. But
But-
and I wasn't aware of any of that. I was more focused on the winter.
Well, I remember
thing,
it as
our stuff.
we had to schedule or the winter ball as such. This Surrey Downs,
Yep.
competition actually had to work around the games that the Inters were playing, and
That's right.
yeah,
Yes, we
'cause
did.
The Inters would play away, or when they had the 3 teams.
Yep.
I don't think there was ever a week where they all played away.
No.
So it was a matter of scheduling, and I think at
Around
that
them.
stage there was probably 6 teams maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
And with the 2 diamonds, it was, I guess, pretty handy that you could sometimes get 3 games
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
you know,
Yep.
in that time slot during the day. And then eventually when Inters, dwindled to 2 teams and then to 1 team, that's how, I guess, as far as I remember, that's where I got involved with the winter ball side of it, with the Surrey Downs. And quite often when the guys from North, that I think they played under different identities,
Yep.
whether it was Chaos or whether it was
yeah, exactly.
Madder or Maddest or something, they always had. And quite often when they'd come up and play at Iliari there, because I knew some of the dads from when Christopher was playing, T-ball and winter and early baseball, junior baseball. When they were short, they'd ask, do you want to fill in? And so you'd play one game either in our competition,
Yep.
and then straight on to playing theirs, or the other way around. So you were fairly warm by the second game, and usually worn out. So you needed a frothy afterwards. So that was pretty handy that Fred had the bar and the canteen open at that stage. But that very good memories back in those days.
Absolutely.
And then, unfortunately, however, when Inters folded, and that's when Surrey Downs actually grew. Now, I think we had 12 teams at one stage a few years ago, didn't we?
Yep.
Before COVID.
Last year.
Last year we had
Last
12.
year's 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually had that. We went up to 6, then 7, and then we had 8. Well, that 8, great, that's great,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there were 10, and wow,
And then 12 and
11, 12.
back
Jesus,
to, back to
holy
10
crap.
this year.
Back to 10.
Which
yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
It's
It's easier
a
to,
good number.
It's easier to
Yes.
schedule, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's been a
Good
lot of fun up there. Like
Oh,
I
absolutely.
didn't get up there until I was 39, and I was still playing at Woodville then. I still played 2 or 3 years with Yorston and Saunders and there was we moved from there. What have I been my 3rd year? So it might have been 2011, 12 maybe. I got up there, and like I've really had 15 years up there. Even with the last couple of years off, it's really been my longest journey in baseball, because I started out at East Torrens in 81 or 82, and then I had 5 boys playing at Woodville, cousin boys, so the Moors, so I got a clearance down there, so we had 8, 3 whites and 5 Moors playing there. And Mum used to work on Grand Junction Road there at Wingfield. So she used to finish work, come down, pick us up, and she loved it. Dad never came out much, which didn't matter. Mum loved it that much, and it was really the best time of my life as a kid involved in the baseball. And I was lucky enough to be taken in by the club up here, and I tip my cap to everybody I've met there. It's been a wonderful time up there,
We've enjoyed having you.
and we've still got some time to go up there, and
Absolutely.
it's really nice to have
You're part of us, buddy.
to sit here with you fine gentlemen. It's a real luxury that you can sit here at where we are at the Milne Road studio and sit here and talk baseball to you guys, because it's been a big part of our life.
Oh, absolutely. It's actually these two gentlemen here, the cause, the reason, whatever, that I actually started
Bob
playing.
likes the cause.
It was actually through Bob that I got involved with the winter ball side of it, with Christopher playing juniors. Bob actually came up to us at a junior presentation one day and said, "Look, we've got a winter ball competition up here at Iliari, and we'd like a few of you dads to get a team started with the lads that want to or are not playing club football or whatever. We would like you to get involved to keep these kids' arms working and, eye in there swinging a bat and everything like that." So I think, I can't remember the name of the fella that sort of took control of us, but Brady Smith's dad played. And Glenn.
Yeah.
And we were the 3 dads. I can't remember. Mark, I think his name was, but I can't think of his surname, but it doesn't matter. He was basically our pitcher. Glenn had played indoor cricket, was a wicket keeper in indoor cricket, and I was just a mug that played about 4 games at high school or something like that. And but it was a cricketer, and so we got, which one of you kids, but which of you kids would like to play winter ball? And we had a team that I think the first year I don't think we won a game. The second year I think we won 1 game. The third year we drew a game, and we were getting smacked like 29 runs, 30 runs a game for the first couple of years. And then all of a sudden these kids who were regulars through summer, through winter, all of a sudden these kids learnt to play. And all of a sudden, the kids took over. The dads sat back, and the kids took over.
They started to win.
Yeah, they started to win all right. And we won a couple of premierships with with these kids, and unfortunately they met girls, and
That's what happens.
yeah.
But it's a whole lot of fun.
But I kept going, and that's where Rog came into it, where I'd played probably 3-4 seasons of winter ball, and had filled in for the Raiders a few times and that sort of thing. As you do, it's a social.
Absolutely.
The Raiders are there in the finals each year, aren't they, Rog?
Every year.
And deserve to be.
I've never known them not to be there. They've win, rain or shine,
Exactly.
they seem to be at the finals.
But that year I couldn't tell you. It was probably about 2010, 9, 10, something like that. That Rog came up and basically said, "Well, we're 1 or 2 short in summer, and you play regularly enough for us. Why don't you come and play summer?" So I did, and at the ripe old age of 49, I started playing serious baseball, and unfortunately now not playing, but that's where it all started. And
You're still out there. You're still out there.
Still out there.
We
I
see
still
you.
love it.
We love to see you out there too.
You had some good years there in the Div 5s, didn't you?
Oh, well, that first year, we played in the grand final out at Adelaide, and I think we got shut down in the first innings because of errors. We actually, by the 6th, we came back and levelled it, and then it was the last dig, the 7th again, that a few more errors that cost us.
We gave them 7 runs in the first.
Yep.
Come back with 7 of our own in the second.
That's right.
And stayed there till so it was 5th or 6th.
Mhm.
And then they brought some of their also rounds in who did very well and beat us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great game.
But yeah, first year of seniors.
I was there, I remember
Yes,
it.
yes.
First year of seniors and
What
played in a grand final.
As we reflect a little bit, what about the game we played at Goodwood?
Oh.
And Roger was batting. Roger come up to bat, and this pitcher from that team had
Thought I was trash talking.
not only come to set, but because Rog wasn't there, he thought he'd sneak a strike on him. So boom, down he goes, and the umpire, I'm sitting there at shortstop, and he's gone, "Hey!"
But the reason Rod wasn't in the box was the pitch before it was a throat ball that virtually sat Rog on his ass. Rog was trying to compose himself. It was the umpire's first ever game of umpiring, and this guy's pitched it, thrown it straight in the zone. He turned around and he said, "That's a strike." So the umpire's called a strike and
So he's
sat him down. It
he's
was like-
he's rung him up on
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
strikes.
yeah.
And I said, that's the most un-Australian thing I've ever seen in my life. And this kid didn't know what to say to me. I said, that's terrible. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, that's an underarm to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't talk chapel in New Zealand,
Oh, that
Oh,
was.
absolutely.
I mean, we're still talking about it. That's how shocked we were. Yeah, it was the most unusual thing I've ever seen.
it was. That was a funny one, wasn't it? And look, also just to have COVID
It wiped us
in
out.
the years that we were there. There was a season we didn't play.
Yep.
COVID-19's written all over the trophy.
Well, that's right.
Hmm.
Didn't we? We finished in the 1920 season. We finished, and they didn't play the 2021, did they? From memory.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think
Well-
you're right. Yeah.
In 1920, we were top. Division 7, Division 6. And all we had to do was beat East Torrens. Well, as it turned out, we didn't know at the time, beat East Torrens. And we were 7-2 up, I reckon, going into the last innings. And
Uh-oh.
Steve Brooks says.
yeah, our goal on the third got a little bit vociferous, and he thought the guy was 3 strikes, and there was only 2 strikes, and he starts running, and I yelled out to him, "Why are you going?" So he turned around and come back to third. The catcher threw the ball to third, and the umpire said, "You're out," and he stood up, didn't have the ball, and I'm yelling out to the guy, "He hasn't got the ball. He can't be out. He hasn't got the ball." "No, you're out." And from there, we didn't score anymore, and they went on to win it by 1 run.
Oh, no.
And after that,
Bloody
because we
umpires.
finished early, as far as the season was convinced, because they beat us, we were top, they were second, they went top, they got the
And
They got the
season
premiership.
the season was cold.
Yeah.
Mm.
nasty.
Mm.
Yeah, we've got a bitter one too. We
Oh,
won't talk
yeah,
about.
No, but let's not talk about that. No.
God.
Yeah.
But boy, what a lot of fun! And as Pete said, you two have driven this vehicle, and I said you're guilty for all these people having fun.
Yeah,
You've got to wear that.
absolutely.
Which is really great, and the reason I think Roger and I still do it is to see what's happening out there on the diamonds. It's a family affair. You got moms and dads playing with one another, dads with their boys, dads with their girls, moms playing. It's a family affair. Like we had several families out there last season. I can't remember off the top of my head who all they were, but we had several that were, moms playing with their daughters, dads with their sons.
Absolutely.
I mean, Kirby was out there playing with his son, and his dad played as well. 3 generations. I mean, that stuff you just can't make up. It's just so much fun. Everybody enjoys himself, and
They went on to win.
did they?
Yeah.
Son of a gun, yeah.
Yeah,
They went on
that's
to
right.
win.
Yeah. So, we got 10 teams this year, and we got three, maybe 4 new teams. I think the Odd Sox, the Razorbacks. Off the top of my head.
So you've already got your list pretty well done.
Oh yeah, we're done. It
Starts next week.
And this year's premiers, Raiders.
You always say that, right?
Print the trophy now.
I've even seen COVID has been crossed out, and Raiders have won.
Absolutely.
But it's so much fun, and it also, some guys want to come out. Might have played some time ago, and they come out and have a go, and then they say, well, maybe I'll play summer. You know what I mean? So, there's just a whole lot of positives that come out of this fun program that we provide. And,
Seems to be one flag a year that Golden Grove Central District still put up on their on their rafters there,
Absolutely.
on their tie cords. Oh, I reckon it's fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. It's a bit of organization, to get it all going, with everybody. But once it's up and running, it's just
Rog,
lot of fun.
what year did it change from Golden Grove to Golden Grove Central Districts?
98-99 season, it changed from GG Dodgers to GGCDBC. Yeah.
All right, it's got a ring about it now.
You got to know the alphabet.
Yeah, that's when the guys from Central Districts came across, and they'd been across before, but then they decided to combine it all, so that it did both things. Both clubs were involved in it.
How was it decided that it was going to be up here at Golden Grove at Iliari rather than, because didn't Central Districts play
They had it down at
Elizabeth Oval, wasn't it? Or,
no, not Elizabeth Oval.
just
one
this
across
side,
from
wasn't
it.
it?
Yeah,
Was it Ridley?
Ridley Reserve.
Ridley Reserve,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's right. Well, I think they had lost their chance to play at Ridley Reserve, so they got out and came up with us.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
All right, let's Bob. We've got the 3 generations of Dodgers in your in the Neiswander there.
Yeah, well, very good. Very good. Yes. My granddaughter, she'd been playing t-ball, and my son, he was coaching, and of course, she became of baseball age, and she had to go, and she's not a natural, but she enjoys it, and Aaron played Div 6 this year, first year back, and about 4 years he had an injury, and I think him coaching the t-ball teams, he got the fever to come back, and they had a great season this year with Shane George and all the guys on the team.
How great having him back. That's fantastic.
Well, that's right. We enjoyed watching him play, and
He's
of
a good-looking
course,
rooster, isn't he?
Well, he does all right.
Takes off crossbow.
Yeah, that's yeah, and so Adele she's 9, and she tries hard, and Aaron works with them, and it's just a whole lot of fun, and their team, and I have to say, Davy Roach was her coach, and this guy is probably one of the best junior coaches I have ever come across, and I've come across a lot of them. This guy is super fantastic, so encouraging and positive, no matter how good or bad you are, And anyway, they finished 6th on the ladder, and they came back to win the grand final.
Oh.
And and she even got a safe hit, a couple of times, which was pretty exciting because she wasn't a hitter, you know what I mean? But Aaron's team, they made the finals, and she made the finals, and yeah, we're out there to watch it. It was just a whole lot of fun. It was full-on baseball, I tell you, in our family all week, with the trainings on, Wednesday and games on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and just a whole lot of fun. Dodger fun.
That third person you mentioned can play a bit too, just quietly, Bob. Davey.
Oh yeah, what a great a great player. He came over from Kensington. I don't know what the story was, but we're very fortunate for him to come over. And of course his son Chevy, he's a star in his own. He's 10 years old. He's probably going to play 13 ones next year. And Davey, the coach. I mean, he's just so terrific, and even he catches for the Div 5s. Wasn't it Div 5?
Yeah,
No, wasn't Div 4s. Div 4s,
with
yeah.
Jason's team. Yeah.
And he's catching, and he's chirping the whole time to the pitcher, to the guys out there, like Joel did out in your outfield,
in the outfield,
and talking, encouraging everybody, and so forth, and he, he's the same with the kids. He's out there just encouraging them, and I like that, and boom, 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 and a super dad, super family. He's got I think 4 kids in his family. I think and a lovely wife. A great asset to the Dodger Club.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
We got some really great guys at our club coaching our junior teams. There's so many. We're just so blessed, the bubble, Some years, because I was junior coordinator there for many, many years. And, some years you just didn't have the coaches that you really would like to have coaching. But, people would come along, and you'd make do. But this past year and so forth, we've had great coaches. Sam Tibbetts, Steve Whitehead.
Fantastic, aren't they? They are fantastic.
Just a lot of good guys.
Well, these guys have got involved with the charter as well, which encourages a lot of our kids.
Absolutely,
to have a go, and it brings the cream to the top a little bit, doesn't it? When you've got your local coaches that are quality, They unfortunately, when I guess in the past where our kids haven't been involved with the coaching staff of these charters, and only a couple of them get a look in and that sort of thing. But when you've got more of the quality regular, and they're actually being seen and coached by these quality blokes, then it's a big positive.
I think the next decade or so is going to be very interesting with the skill sets of those kids coming through our club.
Absolutely.
And it's a bit cliche, but you can see it coming. It's there. This next generation is going to be ramping right through. It's going to be fantastic. One thing I did want to talk about too was how well the Women's League is doing. What a breath of fresh air to have all those girls up there playing the 3 divisions and being successful.
Absolutely.
3 teams. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Don't they offer such a different perspective on it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
The passion is 130%, you know, there's a bit of carry on with them, which I love. But boy, what a breath of fresh air!
Yeah.
Dare not argue with them.
You know,
They'll rip your
absolutely.
throat out.
It's like a ginger cat, mate. Just let it in one door and put it out the other one. But boy, they're good. They're hard. They're tough. They don't piss and moan. They get hit. They get on with it. And boy, they're tough. They are really good. I have a lot of fun up there with them. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
It is.
Well, they've had success too. I
And
mean,
lots of success up there. It's been fantastic.
Mm.
Maybe one day we'll get a change rooms for them, huh?
don't hold your breath. They
Don't go there.
deserve, you know.
Don't go there. Well, they do. Absolutely. In this day and age. And, you know, the council just drags their feet, you know, like we're minor sport, you know, and we don't even get a look in.
No.
And we do so much for the community. It's no kidding. You know, what we do for the community, you know, with the juniors, you know, the kids of the city, you know, the seniors, the women, you know, the ladies, you know, all of this stuff, all inclusive, you know, and nothing, you know what I mean? No support. And a lot of it, you know, some of the people around the property, the residents, they're the stumbling block. They don't see beyond their nose. They kind of like to want to just see the green. They don't like to see us there. And
You've got
blah, blah,
ghosts
blah,
in
you
your
know.
house, you have.
You know, and it's just unfortunate that these, you know, 15 or so residents, you know, just stop the progression of our facility. It's just a crime, really. But you know, it is what it is, and unfortunately, we're located in the middle of a neighborhood. You know, we're not on a main road or what, like Tilly or.
So's the Teacher Gully Footy Oval. So's, you know, Mobry Oval. You know, it's all the same. It's I get that the majority of the funds, and I'm talking my opinion here only, is that the world sports are getting more attention. Most of the
Headlines.
are getting the money, but boy, this has been a long trauma with the Golden Grove,
Certainly has.
and by now we've gone from a double urinal and one WC in the men's to one urinal that barely fits a kidney, and you've got one WC that is ridiculous. You know, it's, you know, we've gone backwards in that
Yeah.
short term.
Yep.
But boy, you know, if people are out there listening, keep on the bandwagon and keep pushing, because it's worth it. You know, look at the amount of people you put through this place.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
Exactly.
Keep the kids off the streets. You know.
Sure. And it would be defiant of me not to talk about your wives, Diane and Jerry, as well. I didn't get to see Jerry today, but I did get to spend a little bit of time with Diane this afternoon, and she's looking wonderful.
Looking great. Absolutely.
What a beauty of a wife, huh?
Yeah. 75.
She's done well.
Going really well.
She's done well.
Tolerating roads.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was about to say she got a great husband. You said
And how about Jerry Bob? I suppose she's still bouncing off the ceiling, is she? Or...
Yeah. She's 80 this year and still going strong. She's taking yoga classes and also, I think, some ballet classes still, you know, to keep herself fit. And, yeah, and we got the grandkids, the youngsters, you know, which are fantastic, you know. And, you know, that's
Young
that's
keeps
where
you
it's at.
young, isn't
well,
that
well,
the
that's
wording?
right. That's exactly right. But no, we had a great time together, you know, and traveled around the place. She traveled more than I did, together with her. I mean, hell, she traveled the world, I think, for 2.5 years, her and a troupe, and they played everywhere and just had the time of their lives, and they're all still, you know, good mates and close, and you know, and I think that was one of the things that brought her back home, was all her friends, her family, her
Family's everything.
her,
isn't
her
it?
girl,
It is.
her girlfriends, you know, and you know, and to this day, it's just been terrific, and she loves, you know, getting together with them all, and yeah, been a good ride. Yeah, for sure.
Well, gentlemen, we're nearly at the 1.5. So, on behalf of Peter Renfrey and myself, we will tip our caps.
Well, thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure being here.
To
And
you.
First time ever, I think we've done something like this,
yep,
Raj.
yep.
You know,
To
and
you.
Great fun. Great
Wonderful guys.
unexpected, and thanks for the privilege of coming down here.
I
to
would
Milne
love-
Road, and
Love to go lots longer. You'd be surprised how 90 minutes how long it takes to put it up. But your contributions, second to none. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We've
Yep.
been the recipient, and a lot of other people been the recipient of your time and efforts. And I'm certainly honoured to not only have met you guys, but to be friends and allies with you. All of you, thank you very much, and
pleasure.
I'm so grateful that you've come here, you've seen it, and
Fantastic.
Share the stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
you know,
Great fun.
Fantastic.
Great fun.
beautiful stuff. So I'll call the hooter on this one.
Okay.
Thanks, boys. It's been absolutely wonderful. We thank our sponsors, and this one will be up on YouTube on the Milne Road Studios after lunchtime tomorrow. So thanks,
Fabulous.
boys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Pete, for
Thank
helping
you,
me
Noel.
out again.
Yep.
And
Thank you,
Cheers.
guys.
we'll see you all
Cheers.
soon.
Yep.
thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.